Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to English News coming to you from DJAZAIR TV. I'm your host Zahida Abdelhadi. To the headlines. Algeria decides to send urgent humanitarian aid to Libya. Attac expresses Algerians' false of redundancies provided Libya with all forms of support, often the floods. President Abdelmajid Tebboune received the head of the National Observatory of Civil Society. The Minister of Communication holds talks with the presidents of the Italian Council of State. Attaf received Di Mastora. Attaf received a phone call from his Italian counterpart about the current situation in the Sahel regions. Welcome to details. Algeria announced on Monday the sending of urgent logistical and material assistance to Morocco as a part of its early announcement of its readiness to provide aid to the brotherly Moroccan people in order to confront the remnants of the violent earthquake. After the Moroccan Minister of Justice announced the acceptance of the Algerian aid, the Algerian Foreign Minister said in a statement that in a media statement, the Minister of Justice of the Kingdom of Morocco announced the acceptance of the humanitarian aid proposed by Algeria, provided that it's delivered in coordination with the Moroccan Ministry of Foreign Affairs. He added on the basis of the statement, the Algerian Ministry of Foreign Affairs informed its Moroccan counterpart through the Consulate General of Algeria in Casablanca and the Consulate General of Morocco in Algeria of the measures taken by the Algerian government to mobilize 3 large capacity aircraft in order to transfer humanitarian aid to Morocco in line with the necessary needs in the cases of the nature disasters. The statement continued at the time when the operation was completed and after assistance from the competent Algerian authorities in Morocco, Ministry of Foreign Affairs contacted the Consul General of the Algerian Casablanca shortly before midnight last Monday, where the Director General of the Moroccan Ministry of Foreign Affairs informed the Algerian Consul that assessment the Kingdom of Morocco does not need the humanitarian aid proposed by Algeria. Algerians decide, under the directives of the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, to send important and urgent humanitarian aid to Sicily, Libya, following the hurricane that struck a number of Libyan citizens. A statement by the Presidency of the Republic on Tuesday stated in response to the request of the President of Libyan Presidential Council, Mohammed Yunus al-Manfi, to provide support and assistance to the areas affected by the hurricane that struck a number of cities in the sister country of Libya. Algerians decided to send important and urgent humanitarian aid represented by food, medical supplies, clothing and tents via an airline pledge consisting of 8 aircraft belonging to the Air Force of the People's National Army. The statement added this aid expresses of the commitment of the Algerian, its leadership and the people to unconditional and unlimited solidarity with the brotherly Libyan people to help them overcome the difficult circumstances they are going through. On Tuesday, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the National Community Abroad, Ahmed Attaf, commissioned by the President of the Republic, Mr. Abdelmajid Tebboune, held a phone call with the President of Libyan Presidential Council, Mohammed Yunus al-Manfi, through which he expressed to him Algerians' for readiness provide the state of Libya with all its resources forms of support after the devastating flood that experienced, according to the statement by a ministry. The statement explained that Mr. Attaf renewed al-Manfi during the phone call sincere condolences on behalf of the Algerian government and people following the devastating floods that affected Sicily, Libya, leaving a large number of victims among the dead, wounded and missing, and assured him that Algeria shares with Libya its pain and sorrows as a result of this tragedy. The minister also expressed according to the same statement. He assured the President of Libyan Presidential Council that the President of the Republic, Mr. Abdelmajid Tebboune, who is closely following with the Great Council of the repercussions of this natural disaster and the tragedies it left behind. He instructed the competent Algerian authorities to immediately send the necessary aid to affected areas. For his part, Mohammed Yunus al-Manfi, adding the same source, expressed his deep thanks and congratulated the Algerian of his gift of solidarity which is not strange to Algeria and his leadership, which has always stood by Libyan people in all circumstances and times, in order to consolidate the strong bonds that united the two brotherly countries and peoples, and the close bonds of the brotherhood, solidarity, cooperation, and good neighborliness. On Sunday, President of the Republic, Mr. Abdelmajid Tebboune, received the head of the National Observatory of the Civil Society, Noordin bin Ibrahim, and members of his office, according to a statement by Presidency of the Republic. The presidential statement explained that the meeting comes within the context of monitoring and evaluation the activities of this body, as well as listening to the proposals and opinion relieved to the text assigned to the National Observatory of the Civil Society. The presidential statement added that the meeting was attended by Director of the Office of the Presidential of the Republic, Al-Nadir Al-Arbawi, and advisor to the President of the Republic in charge of the legal and judicial affairs, Boualem Boualem. On Tuesday, the Commander of the Armed Staff and the Minister of the National Defense, President of the Republic, Mr. Abdelmajid Tebboune, will chair a meeting with the ministers. According to the statement of the Presidency of the Republic, the meeting addresses the draft corrective finance law for the year 2023 and offers related to school admission and university admission of widely consumed materials in the national market. In addition to important decisions related to citizen concerns. Minister of Communication Dr. Mohamed Laqab met this Sunday evening with the directors and the representative of the private television channels at the ministry headquarters in the presence of the ministry's executives. After listening to the concern raised by those in charge of these media institutions, the Minister of Communication confirmed that the general direction of the higher authorities in the country today to strengthen the media system, especially with regard to the legislative aspect, by completing the issuance of the audiovisual and the print media laws, in addition to establishing the control authorities and the Council of the Professional Ethics. This is something that the Minister considered necessary and urgent. The meeting was an opportunity for officials of these media channels to present and discuss the concerns facing the sector, as the Minister of Communication Dr. Mohamed Laqab explained that the Ministry of Communication continues to support and accompany all media institutions, whether public or private, to ensure smooth regulation for the profession and establish professional rules in media work within the framework of a vision. For their part, representatives of the television channels expressed their appreciation for this initiative, which reflects the Minister of Communication needs of establish a culture consolation and openness to various ideas and aspirations. The Minister of Communication, Mr. Mohamed Laqab, spoke on Monday in Algiers with the President of Italian Council of the State, Mr. Luigi Mariori, at the request of the latter on the sidelines of the conclusion of institutional tweeting project between the Ministry of Relations with the Parliament and the Italian Council of the State at the International Conference Center. Mr. Laqab also indicated that the new legal legislation will open the way of the establishment of an authority to regulate audiovisual activity and a second authority related to the activity of print and electronic journalism, as well as the establishment of a professional ethics council. For this part of the statement added, the President of the Italian Council of the State said that the country has a long experience in the field, especially in the field of the control, and is ready to exchange experience and expertise with Algeria in his field, as well as in the field of the training, in the context of strengthening relations between Algeria and Italy, which was the focus of visit of the President of the Republic, Mr. Abdelmajid Tebboune, to Italy. For reference, Mr. Luigi Mariori, accompanied by the Minister of Relations with the Parliament, Ms. Basma Aswar, supervised the closing ceremony of the institutional twinning project between the Ministry of Relations with the Parliament and the Italian Council of State, which aims to strengthen the capabilities of the Ministry of Relations with the Parliament in the field of specialization. The American ambassador relieved after her meeting with the President of the Republic, Mr. Abdelmajid Tebboune, that she discussed with the President Tebboune ways to bring security and stability to the region. She expressed to Algerian President the gratitude of the United States for the efforts made by Algeria to stand alongside the neighboring countries. The ambassador said in the press statement after the meeting, "I wish the Algerian president a fruitful and comfortable trip to New York as a part of his participation in the work of the United Nations General Assembly." The ambassador added that the United States is ready to work with Algeria during the membership in the UN Security Council and the Human Rights Council, saying, "I discussed with the Algerian president the strong relation that united to the two countries in the economic field. I also assured the Algerian president that launching a direct flight from Algeria to New York would to strengthen economic, tourism and cultural relations between the two countries." Yesterday, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and the National Community, Ahmed Attaf, received a phone call from his Italian counterpart, Antonio Tajani. A statement from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs stated that the call dealt with the current situation in the Sahel region. Attaf informed his Italian counterpart of the encouraging reaction that the President of the Republic initiative continues to receive for a political settlement of the crisis in Niger. For his part, the Italian minister renewed his country's support for finding a political solution of this crisis, stressing in particular his support for the idea of organizing development in the Sahel region. The deteriorating situation in Mali was also at the focus of the two ministers' talk, as their views coincided to a necessity of a rapid return to the implementation of the peace and the conciliation agreement in Mali that emerged from the Algerian bath. The same source added that the two ministers exchanged views and the acceleration of illegal and immigration in the Mediterranean. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of the news. Thanks for watching.